Welcome back, fellow dragons. I rewound just a little bit from where we ended last episode.
いい加減元気出しなさいよ。
Oh, enough. Cheer up already, would you?
目覚ましをかけるべきだった。まさかあのまま夜中まで寝続けるとは。
I should have set an alarm. I never imagined I'd sleep through the entire night. He's been saying the same thing for 2 whole days.
しかも俺が予測していたよりずっと早く消えた。周期彗星ではなかったのか。
Not to mention it disappeared faster than I predicted. Was it not a periodic comet after all? There's no way for me to confirm it now.
それだけ疲れてたのよ。私がいくらゆすっても全然起きなかったんだから。
That just goes to show how exhausted you were. No matter how much I shook you, you refused to wake.
また彗星くらい流れるわよ。
Something like a comet will come by again eventually.
今回の彗星は未発見のものだった。お前の名前をつけるつもりだったのに。
Aww, that's cute. But this comet was one that hadn't been discovered yet. I'd intended to name it after you.
やめてよ、恥ずかしい。
Hush, how embarrassing.
正確にはミコト C807591 だ。この名前が歴史に残るはずだったのに。
To be precise, I planned on a Mikoto-C/8075Q1. That name was supposed to become part of history.
ただのいじめじゃない。
You were just trying to tease me, aren't you? Natsuhiko had lost sight of the comet he had found only days ago. On top of that, it seemed the records on it had been leaked. It was a rare blunder for someone like him. To make things worse, what he had intended to be a short nap turned out to be a 10-hour deep sleep, during which his comet apparently melted away from the sun's heat. He had been brooding over his slip-up for 2 days with no indication that he was going to stop. It must have been a really big shock for him. I wonder if there's anything I can do to cheer him up. I don't need this anymore. But you know what? Still making new save. On one hand, I want to see his reaction to booze. I want to see how this man would react to alcohol. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure he would not like alcohol. He's like, you want me to dull my senses? No. I want to know his reaction, though. We're gonna do both real quick. Offer him booze. What? No, hold on. We're gonna come back to this one then. That was a shock. Pat him on the head. Maybe it will help if I pat his head. I straightened my shoulders and stretched out my hand towards his head, but he moved at the same time I did, which meant my hand only found empty air. It would have been easy if I was trying to pat Sarata.
Natsuhiko.
Okay, well.
ちょっと話。
Shut up, Motisa. Stop! Game? Thank you. Forget. Offer booze. We need that key.
今晩はお酒でも飲む？私は飲めないけど晩酌くらいなら付き合うわよ。
Oh, how about some alcohol tonight? I cannot have any, of course, but I would be happy to keep you company while you drink.
女の子を魚に飲むお酒は美味しいって船の仲間から聞いたことがあるわ。
There were only 2 companions on the... There were only 3 people that could drink on the Norn. One of them, Natsuhiko had planted there. The other 2 were Masamune and Itsuki, and Masamune wouldn't say that. That's definitely Itsuki words right there. My companions on the ship said the alcohol tastes better if you have a girl to serve as a visual appetizer while you drink. I say that, but I do not really understand exactly what it means.
なんだと？船の仲間とはドイツ。鏡か、鏡だ。
What? What companion said that? Was this Kagami? It was, wasn't it?
よくわかったわね。そんなに喋ってないのに。
You were quick to figure that out. I did not even give you that much information to work with.
お前、あの男と酒を飲んだのか？
Do you mean to tell me you drank alcohol with him?
まさか。私はお酒は飲まないし、そもそも絡まれたら嫌だから避けてたわ。一緒に飲んでたのは政宗とロンよ。
Do not be silly. I do not drink. For one... Do not be silly. I do not drink for one thing. For another, I do not like being around those who do, so I avoid them. It was Masamune and Ron who drank with him.
おう、
Oh?
政宗。任務中に飲酒とはいい度胸だな。
Oh?
ロンもそうだ、あのボケども。
Masamune has some nerve to be drinking on the job. Ron too, those idiots. I was trying to distract him from his current worries, but instead I only made things worse. Since Itsuki and Ron were far away, he would probably take most of his frustrations out on Masamune.
Natsuhiko.
Oh, great, Motohisa's here. Natsuhiko! A voice called out from behind us. The voice belonged to a middle-aged man. He offered a friendly smile as he stepped closer to Natsuhiko.
ちょっと話があるんだ。時間をもらっていいかな。
I have something I wish to speak to you about. Could you spare a minute? Natsuhiko said nothing in response. Yet the old man seemed to somehow certain that Natsuhiko would abide his request.
悪いね、お嬢さん。
My apologies, young lady.
いえ。
Oh, no. Masamune and Sarata were not the only ones who came here to see Natsuhiko. The island scientists would too. Natsuhiko chased most of them away, so I never really saw him talking with any of them before. If he is not turning this man away, I guess that means he does not mind talking to him.
Natsuhiko! Mikoto!
Natsuhiko, Mikoto.
Sarata!
Sarata!
あれおじさんもいたんだ。
Oh, you're here too.
ああ。もしかして夏彦にアイネの作り方を習いに来たのかな？
Let me guess, you came to Natsuhiko to learn how to recreate Aine?
まあそんなとこ。
More or less, yeah?
わざわざ研究所からここまで来るのは大変だろう。けどそれももうじき終わる。同じ研究所で暮らすんだからね。
It is quite a long trek to come all the way here from the research lab, but that won't be necessary for much longer. We will all be in the same lab again soon. What? This was the first I had heard of that.
でも島の人たちと夏彦は。
But the islanders in Natsuhiko aren't...
ああ、もしかして仲が悪いままって思ってる？そんなことないよ。もうちゃんと和解してるから。
Ah, were you under the impression that he's still on bad terms with us? Not at all. We've already patched things up.
夏彦が島に戻ってきてみんな喜んでるんだよ。君のことだって歓迎してる。
Everyone's delighted that Natsuhiko's returned. And they're welcoming of you as well, young lady.
お偉いさんたちも夏彦が望む設備を全部用意するって張り切っちゃってさ。まあ、8年分のお年玉ってやつだ。
The higher-ups were pretty eager to make all the arrangements that Natsuhiko wanted too. It's basically their gift to him to make up for the 8 years of lost time.
お前の要望は全部揃ったよ。時間がかかって悪かったね。
We obtained everything you requested. Apologies for taking so long.
今よりずっと素晴らしい環境で研究ができるんだ。お嬢さんもいいと思うだろ？
You'll be able to conduct your research in a much nicer environment from now on. You're also on board, right, young lady? If it meant Natsuhiko would have everything he wanted, then I was happy, of course. I could not even begin to imagine what kind of facilities he had requested, but if he had better equipment, he would not miss out on a comet like he had the other day. But did they really patch things up? It certainly does not look that way. To me, it seems entirely one-sided. Besides, that man's smile, the way he called Natsuhiko's name, feels overbearing. Maybe I'm worrying too much. He's making it sound like they have Natsuhiko in the palm of their hand or something.
そういう話は部屋で伺います。こちらにどうぞ。
Let's discuss this matter in private. Come this way.
あ、ありがとう。それじゃあお嬢さん、また今度。
Alright, thanks. Well then, young lady, I'll see you around.
あの人、一体何者なの？もしかして、この島で一番偉い人？
Who in the world is that man? Is he the one who runs everything on the island?
そんなことないと思うけど、結構ダラダラしてるとこ見たことあるし。
Nah, I don't think that's the case. I've seen him piddling around quite a bit.
絶対にただ者じゃないわ。だって、あの夏彦が敬語を使ったのよ。
He's definitely no bottom rung scientist. Natsuhiko was being too polite with him for that.
ああ、判断基準そこなんだ。まあ僕もびっくりしたけど。
Oh, that's what you're basing things on. I admit I was surprised too.
夏彦、敬語使えたのね。
I never realized he could be so polite.
さすがにそれはひどくない？一応いい大人なんだから。
Isn't that kind of rude to say? I mean, he is an adult after all.
あの人がどれくらい偉いのかは知らないけど、政宗のおじさんだよ。
I have no idea how high that guy's rank is, but he's Masamune's uncle.
そうなの？
He is. Both Masamune and Natsuhiko were born on this island, so it only makes sense that they would have relatives here. I never bothered to ask Natsuhiko about his family since he always seemed so annoyed when talking to the islanders.
ちょっと待って。私、夏彦のご両親にご挨拶してないわ。
Hold on a moment, I've not paid my respects to Natsuhiko's parents yet.
同じ島にいて一度もご挨拶せず、しかも同棲してるって、私最低じゃない？
Don't worry about that. He only has one remaining biological family left, and she's a bitch. He left for a reason. He left for many reasons, and she's one of them. We are on the same island as them, and I have not even bothered to say hello, even though we are living together. How awful of me.
どっちかっていうと、夏彦がそっちの親に挨拶する方が優先度高いと思うけど。
Honestly, I think the bigger priority should be for Natsuhiko to pay his respects to your parents.
何か手土産を準備しないと。お菓子？羊羹とか？
I must prepare some kind of gift for them. What about sweets? Perhaps yokon jellies?
でもここにはそんなもの売ってないし、羊羹の作り方なんて知らないわよ。
But they don't sell anything like that here, and I have no idea how to make it on my own.
落ち着いてよ。多分だけど、夏彦の親はここにはいないと思うよ。だって、東なんて名字聞かないもん。
Calm down, I'm just guessing, but I don't think Natsuhiko's parents are on the island. I haven't even heard of anyone else with the last name Azuma.
そうなの？
Oh, really?
ほんと多分だけどね。政宗にこそっと聞いてみたら？夏彦怒りそうだけど。
Like I said, it's just a guess. Why not secretly ask Masamune or something? Though I bet that'd make Natsuhiko mad.
確かに影でこそこそ詮索されるのは気分が悪いわよね。
True, it would not be nice to search for answers behind his back.
夏彦が話してくれるまで待つわ。いろいろ教えてくれてありがとう、サラタ。
I shall wait for Natsuhiko to bring it up then. Thank you for all your insights, Sarata.
別にお礼を言われるようなことじゃないけど。
You don't need to thank me.
そうだ、島の人で紹介したい人がいるんだ。ちょっと一緒に来てよ。
Oh no. Alright, there's an islander I wanted to introduce you to. Come with me for a sec.
でも
Huh? But I get the feeling Natsuhiko wouldn't like me meeting with the islanders
この前
either.
話したでしょ。渚って僕の面倒を見てくれてる人。
I told you about her before, remember? Nagisa, the woman who looks after me?
ああ、美人って言った。
Oh, the one you said is so beautiful.
そうそう。あの仏頂面もそろそろ見飽きたでしょ。近くで待ってくれてるから。
Yeah, her. You're tired of looking at Natsuhiko's broody face, right? Nagisa's waiting nearby.
別に見上げるほどずっと見てるわけじゃないわよ。それに夏彦だっていつも仏頂面ってわけじゃん。
It's not like I stare at his face so much that I would grow tired of it. Plus, he's not always brooding.
ちょっと何よその顔。
Hey, why are you looking at me like that?
あ、のろけうざいって顔に出てた？ごめんね。僕子供だから耐性ないんだ。
Was my annoyance with your gushing that obvious? Sorry about that. I'm still a kid, so I can't handle that kind of stuff like adults can.
のろけてないわよ。
I was not gushing!
船にいるときはね。アイネがいたから別に気にならなかったんだけど。一応僕まだ12歳だからちゃんと配慮してね。
Back when I was on the Norn, I had Aine with me, so I didn't pay much attention. But I'm still only 12, so be a little more considerate, okay?
あなた日に日に憎たらしくなっていくわね。
Sarata, you're really getting more hateful as the days go by. But since the woman is taking care of him, I should at least go say hello. As much as I wanted to ask Natsuhiko first, I had a feeling it would be a while before he came back. Part of what prompted me to go was that this islander was a woman, and that Sarata said he was keeping her waiting. Thus, I had to venture outside, though only for a bit. Sarata led me by the hand to the forest that lay just beyond the ship. I spotted a woman with her back resting against a tree. She was scanning some documents in her hands. I thought she would be much older since she's looking after Sarata. Her light-colored hair glimmered as it fluttered in the breeze. Although she was hidden under the shade of the tree, she was still utterly dazzling. Even as a fellow woman, I was startled by how beautiful she was. When Sarata called out to her, she peeled her gaze away from the documents and turned towards us and sighed.
本当に連れてきてしまったんですね、あなた。
So you really did bring her after all. It was immediately apparent by the way she spoke that she had not welcomed my presence. It was a bit of a shock to be so readily dismissed when it was our first time meeting, but for some strange reason it didn't bother me. Gee, I wonder why?
いいじゃん別に。ほら、ちゃんと挨拶してよ。こっちは久我美琴。
I don't see what the big deal is. Come on, say hi. This is Mikoto Kuga.
はじめまして。いつもソラタがお世話になってます。
It is a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for always looking after Sarata.
はじめまして久我さん。整え渚と申します。
A pleasure indeed, Kuga. My name is Nagisa Totanoe. Totanoe? What an unusual surname. It used to be Azuma.
あなたも科学者なんですか？
So, are you a scientist as well?
まあそうですね。ただ私には大した才覚はないので、助手くらいの実務しかやっていません。もっぱら運営の仕事が多いです。
Liar, you did experiments relating to Masamune's power fairly frequently. Many without Masamune's consent. I suppose so, though I have little talent for it, so I mostly serve as an assistant. Most of what I do is administrative work.
運営？
Administrative?
世界としての方向性を決める機関のようなものです。アイオンの老朽化が深刻になって数百年。この機関がブレーンとなっています。
Our organization determines what course the world takes. Since Ion's deterioration worsened in the past few centuries, we became the brains of the entire operation. I do not entirely get it, but basically this organization she's a part of puts her in direct opposition of Natsuhiko, right? I met someone I should not have. If Natsuhiko were here to see me with her, I have no doubt he would be angry.
私が言った通りでしょう、ソラタ。私と彼女を引き合わせても彼女を困らせるだけです。
It is precisely as I told you, Sarata. Introducing the two of us like this has only made her uncomfortable. Apparently my expression had given away my mixed feelings. Flustered, I attempted to deny her, but words deserted me.
だってかわいそうじゃん。ずっと小春とか七海がいたのに、今は仏頂面のあいつと二人だけなんてさ。
Yeah, but I felt so bad for her. She had Kohara and Nanami with her for so long, but now it's just her and that dour sourpuss.
まあ僕の気の回しすぎっていうのはついさっき分かったんだけどね。
Then again, before we came to see you, she made it very clear that she's more than happy with the way things are.
ソラタ
Sarata?
何にせよ、あなたの言う仏頂面の彼に私と会ったことは言うべきではないでしょう。反感を買うだけです。
Whatever the case, it's best you keep our meeting a secret from the dour sourpuss. You'll only provoke his ire otherwise.
それはあなたも世界の機関の人だからですか？
Are you saying that because you're with the world?
ええ、その通りです。彼が武器を捨てた以上、こちらとしては敵対する理由はないのですが。
Yes, precisely. Now that he has abandoned his weapons, there is no reason for us to treat him like an enemy.
そう簡単に埋まるような溝ではありません。彼は今も私たちを拒んでいますから。
However, filling the gulf between us is not that easy, especially when he continues to reject us. Huh? But that's a little different from what Masamune's uncle said before. He claimed that they had already patched things up.
あなたも夏彦が研究所に戻った方がいいと思ってるんですか？
Do you also think that Natsuhiko should return to the lab?
そうですね。彼の頭脳は世界のために生かすべきです。
Indeed I do. He should use his intelligence for the benefit of the world.
夏彦が嫌がっても
Even if it is not what he wants.
私たちはアイオンの修繕を強いた結果、彼に逃げられてしまいました。また無理強いしても同じ結果を招くだけでしょう。
It was because we tried to force him to repair Ion that he ran the first time. Attempting the same thing again would likely invite similar results.
でもあの人は夏彦が研究所に戻ってくるって決めつけていました。
But that man decided Natsuhiko would return to the lab even though Natsuhiko did not look pleased about it.
あの人とは？
What man?
政宗のおじさんだよ。
Masamune's uncle.
ああ、あの方は私より立場が上なので上層部の命令に従っているのでしょう。
That's the opposite of everything else that has happened in every other route. In this version of events, did she get demoted? Or is she lying through her teeth? Like the lying cunt. Ugh. StormDragon, do you realize how much editing you've created for me? I have to figure out how to edit out your fucking swearing. Like, why couldn't you just say fuck? We don't need to edit that one out. Like seriously, you record the entire prologue just so that you could go back and justify calling Natsuhiko's sister what you call her. But, like, the way the route is set up, it's never gonna look justified. Even though she's, in real life, she would be irredeemable, you gotta remember, this is fiction. Since it's fiction, she can redeem herself with very little effort. It's how fiction works. At least she's kind of trying. I mean, as far as we're concerned, she's not redeemed, and she doesn't deserve it, but like, the game is making her out to be less bad of a person than she is, given the things she's done. And, like, who knows, maybe on the inside she wasn't that bad, but, like, you can't keep calling her that. You're not an Australian. No one will be seeing her next Tuesday. Fuck, these get uploaded on Tuesdays, don't they? Okay, and she's throughout this entire route, off and on. Shit, they might actually... You get the point, I'm hinting at what word we're censoring. I'm sorry, fellow dragons, I had to interrupt, because we cannot have, that specific swear. That one's just too intense. It's like one of the worst ones, it's like one of the worst swears. Even StormDragon wasn't sure about it while they were saying it. But I have so much editing. I've already had to edit out the paycheck rant in the fricking prologue episode that one with, I forget which part it was. You know, when you thought you didn't get paid because the direct deposit glitch, because of course there's gonna be one every time there's a new fucking contract. That's just how it is. I get it's stressful, but come on, don't just... At this point we're used to it. And I know you didn't say the name of your employer, but I'm still editing that out anyway. In fact, we haven't uploaded that yet. I should go back and record a thing to say, nope, this section has been edited out just because it's too ranty. Okay, maybe not too ranty, given all the other shit that this series ends up making you rant about. Still, I'm editing that part out. We're not keeping that. But seriously, do you know how hard it is to try to bleep out you saying that word? I can't, hey, Cyrus? Yeah? I see why you complain about us talking using your mouth whenever you have the PNG tuber out. Yeah, you're right, it does feel awful. Mm-hmm. Oh, even a hum? Mm-hmm. Oh, you moved away from the microphone and it's still, whatever. I'm just thanking you because you went through and marked all of the instances of the swear that I need to censor for me. Thank you. No problem. Hi. Aw, Davrier, you're so cute. Hi. Why are you angry? Right now I'm angry because everyone else's voice is coming out of my mouth, but I'm not mad at you, I'm mad at the tech we have to use. Okay. No, really, I'm not mad at you, it's okay. Do you want to play a game after I'm done editing? Okay. What game? What game? Yeah, what game should we play? That is a good question. Whoop, the fact that I'm drifting off screen. Up. Whoa, up. Model got a little floaty there. But yeah, what game do you want to play? I don't know. How about Don't Starve? Okay, we could play a little Don't Starve. Well, I say we, but I mean you with me backseat gaming. And we're not actually gonna... We're not actually gonna be recording that. That's just for us. Okay? Okay. I'm gonna stop talking using your mouth now. Bye. It's not as raw. It doesn't feel as gross when the baby does it. Cyrus, your tail's on screen again. Elara, go away. I need to move on from this. But no, seriously. Why couldn't you have just said fuck? She is. It's been 25 minutes. I can say what I want. And I say that. Oh shit. Rewinding. The reason I call her that is because she's one of the main reasons Natsuhiko left. In the first game, mainly during the Senri route, I mentioned that several characters in this series are the victims of child abuse. Natsuhiko is one of them. While Senri, Akito, and Kakeru are the most prominent examples, especially in the first game, Natsuhiko is another. They don't mention it in the first game, but they get into it a little bit here. If what I know from the summaries I've read is correct, they don't go into that much detail about it. But we are talking to one of Natsuhiko's abusers right now. He's higher ranking than I am, so he's probably acting on the top brass's orders. It seems they're trying to lure him in with high-tech equipment, but I personally think it's a financial waste. She knows Natsuhiko's personality pretty well. I did not realize there were other people like her among the islanders. Natsuhiko was born here. It was not like the islanders were unfamiliar with him. You shouldn't be. People like Nagisa were probably not that unusual, but considering what I saw of Masamune's uncle, I was still happy to have met someone like her.
渚さんは夏彦と仲がいいんですか？友達とか。
Are you close at all with Natsuhiko, as in friends?
友達。彼にそういうものはいないでしょう。
Friends? I doubt he has any of those.
島を出て多少人間が丸くなっていれば別ですが、そういった話も聞きません。友人を作るタイプではないと思いますが。
It would be different if his personality had softened after he left, but from what I've heard, that's not the case. He hasn't seemed the type to make friends either. I cannot argue with that. She spoke so frankly that I could tell her assessment did not come from a place of malice towards Natsuhiko. Sure as hell didn't come from a place of caring either. Perhaps she would still know quite a bit about Natsuhiko even if they were not close.
あ、でも政宗とは仲良しだと思いますよ。
Oh, but I do think he is close with Masamune.
政宗は昔から彼の世話を焼いていましたから。
Understandable. Masamune has always looked out for him.
世話を焼くか。夏彦、政宗にすっごく冷たいのに。恩をあだで返すってやつだね。ねえ渚。
Sarada? Get away from that bitch. Unless you want to end up like Natsuhiko. You will get away from this manipulative. Masamune looked out for him, huh? But Natsuhiko is super cold towards him. Seems like biting the hand that feeds you, right, Nagisa?
そらた、あなただって面倒見てもらってるくせに呼び捨てはやめなさい。せめて渚さんって呼ばないと。
Sarada, she's being kind enough to look after you. Do not call her by her first name like that. At least be respectful and call her Miss Nagisa.
呼び方は気にしません。自由に呼んでもらって結構です。
I do not care what people call me. He's free to use whatever he likes. Nagisa had spoken quite formally the entire time. It reminded me of Koharu, but they weren't anything alike. Although polite, Koharu's way of speaking was still warm, as if her voice was suffused with genuine consideration. I got the strong impression that Nagisa was more businesslike, saying just what she felt she needed to be said. Saying just what she felt needed to be said. I wonder why that does not bother me. In fact, I want to talk to her more. Don't.
そらた、迷惑かけてませんか？お仕事の邪魔をしてるんじゃ。
Sarata is not causing you any problems, is he? Not getting in the way of your work or anything?
いえ、これも仕事の一つです。それに。
No, looking after him is part of my job.
こ
Also,
の子は弟が小さかった頃に似ているので。
he reminds me of my little brother when he was younger. Sarata, run.
弟さんですか？
Your little brother?
ええ、写真も手元にありませんし、いろいろと思い出すのにちょうどいいんです。
Yes, I don't have any pictures of him, so this is perfect for bringing back those memories. Nagisa did not say anything more after that. I suspected from the way she spoke that she and her brother had been apart for a very long time. with good reason. I'm pretty sure that they're, like, I don't know the severity of how much she did that hurt Natsuhiko, but I guarantee they're gonna play it down, like, with the way Japan's culture is, I guarantee they're gonna play it off as not being as bad as it actually is. Like, they're gonna say they're gonna act like horrible things she did weren't that bad. Because of cultural differences, and that still disgusts me. Nagisa did not say anything more. Oh wait, I just read that. Perhaps he passed away. Maybe that is the reason. No?
そらた、迷惑かけちゃダメ
But
よ。
if he had stayed, he would have. Sarada, make sure you do not cause her trouble.
分かってるよ。でもこれで分かったでしょ。渚がいい人だって。
Yeah, I know, but now do you see what I mean, right? Nagisa is a good person. No, she's not.
何か困ったことがあったら渚に相談するといいよ。
If you ever find yourself in trouble, you could turn to Nagisa for help. Or don't do that. I recommend against it. I've read enough summaries of this to know don't. I don't know the plot of this route. Like, I have vague memory of the summaries. Like, the summaries came from broken translations to begin with. So yeah, I don't know much, but I know enough. And having seen her actions in other routes, and in the prologue of when all the characters first got on the ship, this is what happened, this is how things started off. We're starting off with Masamune's perspective because he was the first one on the ship, and then they swapped over to Kakeru for a bit, and then after, like, they went in order of who joined the ship when. It's fun. It's a fun little sequence. But during that, it shows that this bitch was experimenting with Masamune's powers, often without Masamune's consent. Just making sure that you know that that's the thing that happened. Like, it was what they showed was just her putting objects into an ungloved, like, Masamune's hands, like, removing his gloves and putting objects into his hands while he was asleep. And then making him tell her what he dreamed about. And, like, that's all we saw. Which means that's most likely the tamest of what happens. We don't know what else. We don't know what else she's done. Just from that scene alone, if I had known nothing else, I may not like Masamune, but no one deserves to be messed with like that.
そう言われても、私はできないことの方が多いですよ。上層部の命令に従うのは、東野室長だけではありませんから。
You say that, but I'm extremely limited in what I can do. And Section Chief Choya isn't the only one who has to follow the top brass's orders.
室長？あのおじさん、偉い人なの？
Section Chief? He's that high ranking?
あの方は優秀な科学者であり、機関にとってなくてはならない有能な上官です。
He's a superb scientist as well as an extremely talented superior whom our organization can't do without. Then what's your actual rank, Nagisa? Or did you get demoted once your brother was back on the island?
へえ、人って見かけによらないんだね。
Huh, guess you can't judge a book by its cover.
それについては私も同意見です。
I must agree with you on that. Nagisa and Sarada seem to get along better than I had expected. Getting acquainted with Nagisa also helped alleviate some of my distrust towards the islanders. That's a bad thing, though. Natsuhiko's methods may have been fucked up, but these fuckers' methods were worse.
渚さん。
Nagisa. Someone suddenly called Nagisa's name from behind us.
偉い人たちが呼んでますよ。
Oh.
すぐに研究所に戻ってください。
The hell are you, man? He kinda cute, though. Don't trust him. But he kinda cute, though. Top brass are calling for you. Please return to the lab immediately.
わかりました。
Very well.
あれ？そこにいるのってもしかして元結界の能力者？
Oh, could that girl be the former Esper with the barrier powers?
久我さんです。失礼のないように。
This is Miss Kuga. Mind your manners.
もちろんですよ。島に来てもうしばらく経つのに全然夏彦が紹介してくれないから。
Of course I will. It's been a while since you came to the island, but Natsuhiko keeps refusing to introduce us.
俺、最初やひろって言うんだ。よろしくね。夏彦は元気にしてるかな？
Give me just a moment, fellow dragons. Shit. Uh-oh. Fellow dragons, give me a moment. Has the game been going on with me not talking? Did I... Oh, shit. You know what? This is a good time for me to stop. I may need to rewind. I may end up having to scrap some of this episode. Give me a moment. I hope I don't have to rewind all the way back to Yahiro and do editing. I'd hate that. If I have to do editing, I'll be back immediately, fellow dragons. If I don't, then this is the end of the episode for now. I'll see you next episode. I'm gonna rewind a little bit still at the start of next episode, just to be safe, but give me a moment. Either bye for now, fellow dragons, or we're continuing. We'll find out.
俺、最初やひろって言うんだ。よろしくね。夏彦は元気にしてるかな？
I'm so mad, fellow dragons. I didn't want to do editing. Guess I have to now. So, somehow during... I had to take a brief bathroom and, what I said just a moment of not long ago, I had to use the I had a coughing fit, And then I used the bathroom and got something to eat for myself because the coughing fit made me lightheaded a little bit, and food figured that might have been because I didn't partly because I didn't eat. The coughing was the main reason, but like eating something would help, and it did. But somehow my microphone got muted during that time in a way that I had not intended. I think I had left it unmuted during the intermission somehow, and it got muted when I went to unmute. That or the same glitch that happened during the Astrobot stream a while back may have happened again. Give me a moment. One more time. Okay, just gotta double check and make sure my microphone's working. There we go, and I've got it scrolled onto the screen so I can see that that's doing the thing. Alright. We're good. Other than my coughing fit, we're good. Nope. Accidentally pressed a button. Nope. Rewind one more time.
最初やひろって言うんだ。
Okay. Nope.
よろ
Nope.
しく。
俺、
Okay.
最初やひろって言うんだ。よろしくね。夏彦は元気にしてるかな。
Name's Yahir Saisho. Nice to meet you. Natsuhiko's doing well, I hope.
まあ
Yes, I suppose so.
今あいつ何やってる？会えるかな？
What's he doing right now? Can I see him?
今はお客さんが来てるから
He is busy with a guest at the moment.
そっか。ま、俺が行っても会ってくれないだろうけど。
Okay. Well, even if I went in, I doubt he'd agree to see me.
俺たち幼馴染なんだ。考え方の違いでいろいろあったけど、できれば仲直りしたいんだよね。
We're childhood friends. We had a difference of opinion on stuff, but I'd like to patch things up with him if I can. His childhood friend? For a moment, Saki's face popped into my mind. The moment I heard the two of them were childhood friends, I let my guard down a little.
夏彦によろしく伝えといてくれるかな。
Can you tell Natsuhiko hi for me? I nodded and he walked away looking satisfied. He seems like the type who never stops smiling. I never would have guessed Natsuhiko knew someone like that in the past. But if they were childhood friends, there should be nothing wrong with the two.
よろしく。伝えなくて結構です。
There's no need to deliver his message.
でも
Huh? But...
今日私たちと会ったことは彼に言うべきではありません。
It's better if you don't mention that you met us today.
なるべくああいった人間が立ち入らないようにしておきます。私もここには用がない限り来ません。
I will do my utmost to ensure that people like him don't intrude on the ship. And I won't come here either without a good reason. In other words, she had no intention of us getting any closer than absolutely necessary. Her words were meant to put distance between us, but they actually made me feel that I could trust her. Don't. It would have been difficult to accept if she was suddenly kind without reason, but this was actually perfect for me. The fact that she is warning me to be cautious is proof that she is a good person. I can understand why Sarada is so attached to her. these kind of warnings can be used for manipulation too. Then again, I'm working with information that Mikoto does not have. However, anyone that played Natsuhiko's route on this game first, before this one, seeing the events from his perspective instead of just the continuation of the previous game, like anyone that played the previous game from his perspective on, which is what's given in this game, would know enough to not trust Nagisa. And then there's the stuff I've already said. I don't know what all got picked up. I sure as know some of what didn't. But I'm not gonna repeat that stuff. I'm not like hiding things from Natsuhiko, but I would heed Nagisa's request. Don't. He may be mad, but he'd be mad because he's worried.
夏彦、あの人もう帰ったの？
Natsuhiko, did that person leave already?
ああ。
Yeah.
何か嫌なことでも言われたの？
Did he say something that upset you? I recalled what Masamune's uncle had said before. He mentioned that they had patched things up and that we'd be returning to the lab. He spoke with such certainty, but based on Natsuhiko's expression, nothing had been resolved yet.
研究所に戻ってこいっていう話だったのよね。
He's asking you to come back to the lab, right?
ああ。かなりしつこくてな。面倒だったから。俺の望む環境でなければ戻らないと言ったんだ。
Yes, and he's being persistent about it. It's so annoying that I told him I wouldn't go back unless the environment was just as I wanted.
無理をふっかけたはずだったんだが、こうも早く実現するとは。
I made what should have been impossible demands, but they managed to fill them so quickly. Now that I think about it, he did say that they'd arranged things to Natsuhiko's specifications.
何をお願いしたの？
What did you ask for?
国家予算規模の研究機材。
Research equipment worth almost an entire national budget.
それから重要文化財に指定された上張湖製天球儀、古代の天文図、ロケット開発の許可と支援。
Also, a papier-mâché celestial globe that was designated as important cultural property. An ancient astronomical chart. And permission and funding to build a rocket.
この島のお年玉はそんな凄まじい規模なの？
This island has enough annual funding to purchase things like that?
まさか。絶対に不可能だと思ったからふっかけたんだ。
Of course not. I made those demands thinking they were impossible.
昔話でもこういうのあったわよね。
This reminds me of an old folk story.
無理難題を言うことで相手の要求を突っぱねるっていう。
Someone asked for the impossible in an attempt to spurn the other party's demands. It reminds me of what you're doing now, Natsuhiko.
俺の記憶だと、その主人公は女だったと思うが。
As far as I can remember, the protagonist in that tale was a woman.
そうまでして夏彦に戻ってきてほしいのね。
So they want you back that bad. So they want you back so badly that they are willing to go that far? My brain's duplicating and rearranging words again. I don't like it.
空田と一緒にアイネを作らせたいんだろう。
I'm sure they want Sarada and me to recreate Aine.
対応に気をつけなければ強行手段を取られるかもしれない。無理やり身柄を拘束されたりしたら
If I'm not careful with how I respond to them, they may resort to heavy-handed methods. If they were to forcibly take me into custody.
そんなことあるの？だってここはあなたの故郷でしょ。政宗のおじさんだって普通に見えたし。
Masamune's uncle is far from normal. Just ask Itsuki. They would do something like that. But this place is your home, is it not? And Masamune's uncle seemed rather normal to me.
ここに来ていた科学者の人もただのおじいちゃんにしか見えなかったわ。
The other scientists who came here seemed like average middle-aged men too.
奴らを甘く見るな。いいのは外面だけだ。気を抜けば食われるぞ。
Don't underestimate them. That's just a facade. Let your guard down and they'll eat you alive.
全員ロンだと思え。それくらいの警戒は必要だ。
Think of every one of them like Ron. That's the level of caution you need with them. Memories of being thrown off the roof of the Norn flooded my mind. After all that, Ron had stayed at Natsuhiko's hideout for a while, so the two of us had run into each other a number of times. But the incident on that roof had traumatized me, so I avoided him as much as possible. We never even spoke. They're all like Ron. I feel a sudden chill. I suddenly feel a chill. Natsuhiko's words proved incredibly effective, and decided not to leave the ship any more than absolutely necessary. One thing weighed on my mind, however. Was it really necessary to exercise that level of caution with Nagisa? You need double that caution with her. Ron may be a psychopath, but he's also kinda dumb. He's lazy enough and dumb enough. Like, he's not stupid, but he's... he wouldn't try to manipulate you that much. He has his own ways of manipulation, but it's Ron's manipulative scumbag too, actually. But he doesn't have Nagisa's level of intelligence. There's a reason I've been calling her a okay, yeah, no. I already read that. The two of us had only talked a little, but for some reason I liked her. Perhaps that was because Sarada was so fond of her. Mikoto, you're too stupid to see the family resemblance, aren't you? I would like to speak to Nagisa some more, but I bet if I said that, Natsuhiko would be angry.
せめて奴らから世界としての機能を奪うことができればそれほど警戒する必要はないんだがな。
If I could at least steal their ability to function as the world, then there'd be no need to exercise so much caution.
世界としての機能？
What do you mean by that?
この島が各国の調整役をできているのは情報力の凄まじさだ。
This island is able to regulate all these countries because of their impressive intelligence capabilities. They have accumulated data from every previous era.
このデータの 4% を使用するだけで一つの国を滅亡させることができると言われている。
It's said that they can destroy an entire country just by using 4% of that data.
4% で国が滅亡？どういうこと？
4% can destroy a country? How is that possible?
例えばお前の幼なじみは未来予知の能力者だったな。あれは確実に起きる未来を見ていたわけではない。
For instance, your childhood friend could look into the future, right? But what he saw wasn't necessarily guaranteed to happen.
過去のデータを試算し最も可能性の高い未来を予知していただけだ。
He simply predicted the most probable future by calculating historical data.
データを試算？そんなことで未来がわかるの？
Calculating data? You can tell the future based on data? Sometimes. Depends on what it's the future of. But I mean, time, like, history repeats itself if it's not learned from, so sometimes even then. Calculating data? You can tell the future based on data?
気候や地殻変動などの自然災害はあるルールによって周期的に起こる。
Natural disasters involving climate or tectonic movements occur periodically in accordance with natural laws.
ルールは様々だが、これまでの記録から試算すれば、いつどんな災害が起こるか推測が立つ。
There are a number of such laws, and if one makes calculations based on past data, one could feasibly predict when and what type of disaster will occur.
それに、ここには環境だけでなく、個人の情報まで網羅している。
That data encompasses more than just the environment. That includes personal data on individuals as well.
ただ、自然災害よりも人の未来に関しては的中率が下がるようだな。
The success rate of
人の
predicting
心
a
の方が読み
person's
づらいのだ。
future is lower than predicting natural disasters, likely because human hearts are harder to read.
昨夜の頭の中ではそんなすごいことが起こってたの。確かにあの人勉強できたけど。
I never imagined something that incredible was going on inside of Sakuya's head. But he was quite intelligent.
いや、能力者はアイオンの力を借りていただけだ。奴自身もこの仕組みには気づいていなかっただろう。
なるほど。
Oh shit. I didn't. I reached over for my lemonade and accidentally texted forward. No, that power is merely something he borrowed from Ion. I doubt he even realized the inner workings of his ability. Oh, I see.
例えば、2週間後に地震が起きるとわかる。その情報を各国に連絡してやれば、事前に対策が取れるだろう。
Say you know an earthquake is going to happen in 2 weeks. If you disseminate that info to other nations, they could put countermeasures in place ahead of time.
しかし、一部の国が世界に対して反抗的だったら、
But what if some companies stand and oppose the world?
世界はその国にだけ情報を渡さない。そんな選択も可能なんだ。
The world can simply not share that information with them.
簡単に言うと、自分の好きな国だけひいきしたり、嫌いな国には意地悪したりできるってこと？
So basically, they can show favoritism to countries they like and leave the ones they do not to flounder.
そうだ。情報力は全てを凌駕する。生殺与奪の力を世界は持っているんだ。
Exactly. Their intelligence capabilities trump all. The world has power over life and death.
でも、そんなすごい力を持っていたら、アイオンを蘇らせる必要もないんじゃないの？
But if they already possess such incredible power, is there no real reason for their But if they already possess such incredible power, then there is no real reason for them to revive Ion, is there?
いや、島にとってアイオンもリセットもなくてはならないものだ。
No, the island needs Ion and the ability to reset the world.
どうして？
Why?
島はリセットの決断に関しては中立。 能力者に対する介入は禁じられている。その上で話すが、
The island is neutral about the decision to reset. Interfering with any of the espers is prohibited. With that in mind...
リセットをすることは島にとって大きなメリットがある。
Resetting actually had significant merits for the island.
情報力やデータが力だと言っただろう。リセットをせず何千年も歴史が続けば各国にもデータが蓄積されていく。
I told you intel and data equals power, right? If the world goes without a reset for thousands of years, other countries will begin to accumulate data of their own.
つまり世界の持つ情報の独自性が失われてしまうんだ。
In other words, the world will lose the monopoly it currently enjoys with that data.
独自性。世界だけが持つ情報が他のみんなも持っている情報になってしまう。
Monopoly? So only the world has this data right now. But without a reset, everyone else will get their hands on it too?
そうだ。一気に価値がなくなるだろう。
Correct. Its value would disappear instantly.
島の人たちにとってリセットは必要なものだったのね。
So to the islanders, resetting is essential.
無論自分たちに有益だからといって能力者にリセットを選ばせるというようなことは絶対に許されない。
Of course, even though it does benefit them, rules are in place that specifically forbid them from forcing the espers to make that decision.
そうした不正行為が行われないようアイオンが監視者として見張ってきたんだ。
Ion has carefully observed the process over the years to ensure no foul play is present as well.
じゃあ今までは大丈夫だったのね。
So that has never been a problem before.
おそらくな。ただ今回はどうだったかわからん。
Most likely not. I can't say whether that was true or not this time.
え？
Huh?
アイオンは老朽化によって著しく機能を低下させていた。俺がロンをノルンに忍び込ませることができたくらいだ。
Ion's deterioration caused a noticeable dip in her functionality. Enough that I was able to sneak Ron on board the Norn.
島の奴らが俺たちも気づかない間に罠を仕掛けていた可能性は十分に考えられる。
It's not too far-fetched to think the islanders placed some traps of their own without any of us knowing. A strange sensation ran down my back.
でも大丈夫だったじゃない。いろいろ問題はあったかもしれないけど私たちはリセットを選ばなかった。
But things worked out, right? There were a number of problems along the way, but we chose not to do the reset.
そうだな。リセットについてはもう考える必要はないだろう。
Indeed, there's no point in thinking about resets any longer. I just took in way too much information all at once, and I'm having trouble digesting it all. I need to review what I've learned. The world's power lies not just in military force or scientific strength, it also possesses all sorts of information. Other countries cannot oppose it because they too want access to that information. That intel is key to their survival. The reason the islanders want these resets to happen is so they can protect the value of the info they hold, and the world continues to reign supreme. Normally, the island would not be allowed to prioritize its own interests. Ion had kept watch until now and prevented that. But this time we simply cannot be sure. Someone could have been trying to force us into choosing to do the reset. Yeah. Don't know about the higher-ups, but two of them. I know the names of two of the people that wanted you to do the resets. There was Motohisa Toya, of course, and Nagisa Totonoe. No, there's nothing to substantiate that. Besides, we decided against it. There's no need to consider further.
ここにある全てのデータを削除できれば世界は機能しなくなる。
If I could erase all the data they
しかし俺には無理
hold,
だ。
the world would cease to function, but that's not something I can do.
そんなに難しいことなの？
Would it really be that difficult?
さすが何千年にもわたって守り続けただけはある。普通にセキュリティを突破しようとしただけで100年はかかるだろう。
They've guarded that information for millennia. If you tried to break through their security the normal way, it would take centuries.
100年？
Centuries?
それも途中で妨害されれば一発で終わりだがな。
If anyone interfered while I was attempting it, the whole thing would be an instant wash.
100年地道に逃げつつやらなきゃいけないのね。
You would have to chip away at it for centuries while running away from them then.
それができるのも俺くらいのものだろう。しかし俺は100年も生きる気はない。
The only person who could do that would be me, but I have no plans to live for centuries.
それはあってもなかなか厳しいわね。
Even if you did, it would still be rough.
それか俺がこの島のトップに立つかだな。限られた人間にのみデータのアクセス権が与えられる。
The other option would be for me to climb to the top of the island. Only a select few people are granted access to the data.
でもそれじゃ夏彦はずっとこの島に縛られることになるじゃない。
But that would also mean being tied down to this island forever, right?
アイネを作れって言われるだろうし、そんなの無理よ。
And I'm sure they would demand that you recreate Aine. It simply would not work.
一番手っ取り早いのはこの島の人間を皆殺しにすることだ。
The fastest way would be to massacre every single person on the island. Huh?
そうすればデータを削除する必要もなくなる。使用する者がいないからな。
If I did that, there'd be no need to erase their info because no one could access it.
そんな顔するな。俺はどの方法も取らない。
Don't make that face. I won't be resorting to any of those methods.
夏彦。
Natsuhiko?
俺は神ではない。できることとできないことがある。
I'm no god. There's a limit to what I can and can't do.
どんなに手を伸ばしても届かない理想を求めるよりも俺は今この手にあるものを守る。
Rather than trying to reach for some ideal that's far beyond my ability to grasp, I'd rather protect what I have now.
お前と生きると決めたんだ。お前との未来を
I
汚
chose
すつもりは
to
ない。
live with you, and I don't intend to sully our future. His words warmed my heart. I did not want to see him suffer anymore, wedged between reality and his ideals. In an ideal world, the islanders would give up the hold they had over other countries through the guise of the world. I knew such a thing would not be so simple, but it did not stop me from wishing for it. Neither Nagisa nor Yahiro seemed like bad people. I know nothing about Yahiro. He has a connection to one of the characters, maybe Heishi, I don't know. He's definitely got a connection to Natsuhiko and Masamune due to growing up on the island. But I know the least about him. Nagisa I know enough about, and she is a bad person. It would be so wonderful if we could all live in peace here together. The more time passes, the less value the world's information holds, and the more their influence will wane. I only hope time passes without issue until then. I'm going to keep...
はあ、やっぱここの森って変わってんな。変な看板とかボロボロの建物とか建ってて。
Interesting. I recognize this voice. But, like, this would be a good time to stop. But, because I had to end the episode and then rewind and continue from the blank spot when I noticed that problem happening during recording, I'm gonna keep going. Huh? This forest sure is big. There's strange signs and crumbling buildings.
確か夏彦さん曰く唯一昔の時代の名残がある場所らしいっすよ。小さい島国からさらに分
Oh
裂
no,
した
I
島だとか
recognize this
なん
voice
とか
too. Pretty sure Natsuhiko said this is the only place with remnants from eons ago. Something about how this island was split off from another island?
てか、兵士くん、まだノルンには着かないんすか？結構長いこと歩いてますけど。
Anyway, Heishi, have we still not made it to the Norn yet? We've been walking for like ever.
そうだな。どこにあるんだ？
Good question. Where is it anyway?
え？もしかしてわかんないの？さっき、俺に任せろって元気よく言ってたじゃん。
Huh? You mean you don't know? You're the one who just insisted you'd handle this.
ああ、あれはなんか襲ってきても守ってやるって意味で言ったんだ。
Oh, that? I meant if anything dangerous popped out, I'd be sure to protect you.
かっこいい！男前！でも今は時間もないですし、精神感能力を生かしてほしいんですけど。
So cool, so manly, but we don't have time for this, so I wish you'd just make use of your telepathy.
ああ、そっか。その手があったな。あいつの気を探って。
Oh, right! I forgot I could do that. Let me see if I can sense him then.
やっぱめんどくせえな。迎えに来てもらおうぜ。
Nah, it's too much of a pain. Let's have them come get us instead.
え、それって。
Huh? Do you mean?
おーい、ミコト。遊びに来たぞ。
Hey, Mikoto! We came to see you.
何今の？
What was that?
お前はここにいろ。
You stay here. A vein popped out of Natsuhiko's forehead as he left the ship. He returned not long after with two familiar, happy-go-lucky faces.
よー、ミコト。元気か？
Hey, Mikoto, how have you been?
どうしてあなたたちがここにいるのよ？
Why are the two of you here?
夏彦さんに頼まれ事をされまして。それにしても相変わらず美人さんですね。ちょっと顔面踏みつけてもらってもいいですか？
Natsuhiko asked us to do something for him, but anyway, you sure are as beautiful as ever. Could I get you a step on my face, just a little?
この肉をえぐる容赦ない暴力、最高です。
Oh no, he's had a bisexual awakening. He just likes abuse now. Oh no. Before it was only women he liked getting abused by. That or he's got a glimpse of Nagisa and is thinking of her when Natsuhiko kicks his ass. God. This merciless, gut-wrenching violence. Can't get enough.
夏彦、何をこの人たちに頼んだの？
Natsuhiko, what did you ask of these two? What did you ask these two to do?
大したことじゃない。というか、俺が呼んだのは節だけのはずだぞ。
Nothing important. In fact, I do believe I only summoned Setsu.
俺だってダチの顔見たかったんだよ。節が行くって言ったからついてきた。
Yeah, but I wanted to see my friends, so when Setsu said he was going, I decided to tag along.
なんであなたたち二人が仲良くなってるのよ。
Why are the two of you such good friends anyway?
ユイがシローの息子を助け出したのがきっかけで、ほら、あの時俺、兵士君と五木さんのお手伝いしたじゃないですか。
We got close when we went to save Yuigashiro's son. Remember? Back then, I went along to help Heishi and Itsuki. Come to think of it, I guess he was the one who piloted their ship for them.
本当はロンさんも連れてきたかったんですけどね。でも、俺一人じゃ手に負えないから。
Actually, I wanted to bring Ron along too, but he's too much of a handful for me on my own. A chill ran down my spine. If his name was enough to cause such a reaction, then maybe the trauma would never go away.
いい。あいつの顔など見たくもない。
It's fine. I don't want to see him anyway.
もう短い付き合いじゃないんだから、ちょっとは仲良くすればいいのに。
Oh, come on. You've known each other for a while. Might as well be a little more friendly.
節、打ち合わせをするから部屋に来い。
Setsu, let's get on with the meeting. Come with me to my room.
はーい。
You got it.
夏彦も全然変わってねえな。顔が怖え。俺が能力で呼びかけたらめちゃくちゃ怒られたんだぜ。
Man, Natsuhiko hadn't changed a bit. His face is still scary. And he got super angry at me for using my telepathy to contact you guys.
急に頭の中で話しかけられたら誰だって驚くわよ。
Anyone would be surprised to suddenly hear your voice in their head.
それよりどうしてあなたが来たのよ。私に会いたかったなんてそんな理由じゃないでしょ。
But more importantly, why are you here? It's not really because you wanted to see me, is it?
んなことねえよ。それだって一つの大事な理由だし。
Oh, that's not true. That was one important reason why I came.
あなたがここにいることナナミは知ってるの？
Does Nanami know that you're here?
ああ、ちゃんと了解取ってきたぞ。あ、お土産あるんだった。これ、俺とナナミで作ったお菓子。
Yep, got her approval before coming. Oh, I've got a gift for you. These are some sweets Nanami and I made. An ominous aura emanated from the bag he held out toward me. Unable to outright refuse him, I hesitantly accepted his gift.
ちょっと気になることがあってさ、ここにもう一回来たかったんだ。
There was something on my mind, see? That's why I wanted to drop by.
気になることって何よ？
And what would that be?
最後にここに来た時、知り合いの気を感じたんだ。
Oh. Last time I came here, I sensed a familiar presence.
知り合い？あなた、島の人の中に知り合いがいるの？
Okay, so I think I was right about Yahira being connected to Heishi. Familiar presence? You have an acquaintance among the islanders?
いや、そんなことあるはずねえんだけど、でも確かにあいつなんだよな。
Nah, there's no way I could, but I'm sure of what I sensed.
今日はそれを確かめるのと、お前や政宗、空田に会うのと、節の手伝いで来たんだよ。
I came here to double check on that, see you, Masamune, and Sarada, and help Setsu out.
どうだ、立派な理由が3つもあるぞ。
How do you like that? 3 good reasons. For some reason he sounded smug.
言っとくけど、私はこの島の人たちとほとんど関わりがないから、あなたの人探しには協力できないわよ。
Just to be clear, the islanders and I basically have no communication with each other, so I cannot help you with your search.
ああ、そっちは自分で探すからいいよ。てか、探さなくても感じるし。
Yeah, I'll take care of that on my own. Not that I have to search, I can feel them. Heishi and Itsuki decided to retain their powers so they could save Kakeru. He had the option of giving up his powers and living a normal life with Nanami if he wanted. However, he had decided against it for the sake of his friend, and felt both respect and guilt towards him for it.
ナナミとはどう？
How are things with Nanami?
超幸せだよ。カケルが出て行っちまったのは寂しいけど。
We're super happy. I'm a bit sad that Kakeru left.
正直、能力持ったままで街で暮らせるか不安だったんだけどさ。でも、ナナミがいるから大丈夫だ。
Honestly, I wasn't sure if I could make it living in a town with my powers still intact, but I have Nanami with me, so everything's good.
そう。
I see. The most amazing thing about Heishi is that he does not let his powers overtake him. They must have caused him some suffering in the past. But he does not show it at all.
せっかく来たんだから、もっとみんなのこと聞かせて。特にナナミとのことが聞きたいわ。
Well, since you came all this way, tell me more about everyone else. I especially want to hear about you and Nanami.
おー、いいぞ。めちゃくちゃのろけてやる。
Yeah, you got it. I'll gush about her till you're sick of hearing it. This is a good point to stop.
ステルス機能は問題なさそうです。敵さんのレーダーにも引っかからなかったし、さすがに誰にも見られずに着陸は無理でしたけど。
Interesting. But that's gonna be a problem for next episode. I hate that I have to edit this shit. But that's just how it goes. I'll see you next time, fellow dragons. Bye!